So I'm not going to ask this next question because I don't want you to tell me the answer, but if you miss a lot of school, we have students that miss a lot of school for a variety of reasons. Some of them because they have health issues, some of them because they have home issues, and some of them because they just don't want to come to school. But those are not the reliable people that we want in our workforce. Okay, so that is probably one of the biggest things you need to realize as you grow up and get into working, is that you have to be reliable. And also, not only do you have to show up, but you got to do your job while you're there. So if your teacher counts on you to be a classroom helper, we don't have those nearly as much at the high school, but think back elementary. Were you the one that the teacher always asked to go get papers or go pass out this or go get the markers for everybody? They probably considered you reliable. Okay, and that is very, very important as you get older, the reliability factor. Okay, so questions about reliability. Okay, I'm going to segue into talking about some issue. Trey's already heard this story once or twice. Did you video me twice last year? Okay. So it's related, and I always like to talk about this because when I start talking about it, especially younger kids are like, really? But it ties into reliability. So when I was in high school, when I was your age, a little bit older, I was a good student. Okay, I didn't really have to study a lot. Drove my sister nuts because she had to have the straight A pluses, and I was okay with B. Didn't have to study a lot. Got very good grades, and by the time I was a junior in high school, actually beginning of senior year, I had offers to go to Bowling Green to play baseball and for academics. Now, it wasn't a baseball scholarship, it was just an invitation to go to try out for the team. So, beginning of my senior year, everything sounds really awesome. Sounds like a reliable kid, right? So, end of my senior year, everything is wonderful, right? I've got a girlfriend, life is good, all that. Well, as an adult, you run into problems in your life, and sometimes those problems come a little quicker than you'd think. So, when it was about October of my senior year, I got a call from my girlfriend. Anybody got an idea what she might have said? I bet some of you do, you just don't want to say it. So I got a call from my girlfriend that she was pregnant. I was 17 years old. Yeah, you didn't expect that, did you? Okay, so 17 years old. I had a choice. I could either be selfish or be an adult. And at 17 years old, that is hard to do. Okay, so like I said, I had these offers to go. I had other offers to go to different colleges. Bowling Green was the one I wanted to go to. That was not going to happen. The reason being is I had to be reliable for this child that was coming. Okay, so my daughter was born a month before I graduated from high school. I was still 17 years old. Fortunately, I say fortunately, it didn't quite work out very well with her mom, but at the time my girlfriend was a little older, so she had already graduated, so that helped, but she was not very reliable. So at 17 years old, I did the adult thing. I got married. By that time I was 18. I raised my daughter, went to college, worked full time because I had to. I didn't have a choice. Okay? And I'll say this because I want you guys to feel sorry for me, because please don't. Had that incident not happened, I would not have gone into education. I would not be standing in front of you as principal of the best high school around. Okay? But you have to be reliable. I knew at 17 years old that I have this child. I am responsible for that child. Whatever happens with her mom, I was still responsible. And Danielle is now 32. She is a pharmacy tech in Lima. She has her own child, and everything worked out the way it's supposed to. Like I said, I don't tell you this story because I want you, oh, woe is me, poor Mr. Barnes. That is not the case. Things work out the way they're supposed to. I tell you that story because it ties into the idea of reliability. I could have been selfish, but that would have been not reliable, okay? What questions do you have? You can ask me anything. I'll tell you if I can't answer it or not, okay? What questions do you have about reliability, about the story I just told you? It's one I'm not shy about. I tell kids, I think we've done this. Trey's videoed it twice, or once, and we did it. I talked to another class last year. I thought I did it twice last year.
You may have.
Maybe you didn't video it twice.
I don't know.
You did it once. Because I vividly remember his eyes get really big. And the first time I did it, there was a girl in the back. First time I told this story, and I was kind of leading up to it, because I told it a little longer last time, and she went, oh, like that, before I even said what happened. She, oh, it was very, very interesting. So what questions do you have? You're not going to embarrass me. You can ask me whatever you want. Yeah.
What was your most valuable lesson for being a dad at such a young age?
Being reliable. I was going to college full time. So at that time it was quarters. So I went to Ohio State, and it was quarters, so you had to take 3 classes to be full time. So 3 5-hour classes, or you could take more. I was typically taking 4 or 5 classes because I wanted to be done, and then I was working full time. So, and then raising a child and being responsible and all that kind of good stuff. Just so you know, well, not anymore because she's 32. I had custody of my daughter the entire time. So we were married for quite a while, and her mom was there, but then her mom became not reliable, just tying it all in, and she kind of disappeared on her. So that was kind of sad for her. It took her a long time to figure that out, or how to deal with that. What else you got? Other questions? Nobody has any questions. You can't have walked into this class expecting your principal to talk about what we just talked about, right? You were like, he's gonna talk and be boring. Okay. Got a question? Yeah. No? Okay. Another part of that story is that, and I usually tell it in a different scenario when I tell it to kids that are struggling with completing school and things of that nature. And one of the things that I always talk about is the things that happen in your life do not have to define your future. Now that one did, because had I not had a child at 17, I would have went to Bowling Green. I would have studied creative writing, and I would have been a barista at Starbucks, because you're not going to get a job as a creative writing major. But so I lived in Lima. There's an Ohio State campus in Lima. The only degree you could get there was education. So I went, got my teaching degree, and I didn't really know that I wanted to be a teacher until they put you in the school and you start working with kids. And I was like, I'm pretty good at this. So I enjoyed it. Anything else? Any questions? Oh, well, you guys know where I'm at. Come ask. Trey, you got any questions?
No.
No? Okay. He's heard that one before. All right. Well, what do we have to do with the word of the day? Do we have to do anything with it?
No, we're going to write you some thank you letters tomorrow.
Do me a favor with the thank you letters. Make them personal. Because here's why I say that. Because I got a stack of them last year, and they all said the exact same thing. Okay? Now, I'm assuming they're going to give you a template. Hey, these are the things you need to put in the thank you letter, and that's fine. But try to throw something else in there, because I do read them all. But after about the 30th one, you're like, okay. You know, Miss Potter, how do you say your last name?
Nishwitz.
Thank you. That's how I was going to say. Miss Nishwitz. Yeah, mess it up again. Get used to it. I'll do it all the time. Oh, they give you a pattern. I'm like, yep, there's another pattern. But it's the ones that have something different in there that I always kind of set off to the side and read again. So, okay. Well, you guys know where I'm at. If you ever have any questions, even if it's something that you know you didn't want to ask around everybody, come see me.
Do
We
you
know
have
what
any
true.
tips for how they can be reliable in their upcoming careers?
Get to work. Be at work before you have to be at work. So teachers, that's a good question. Teachers have to be here at 7:20. I'm here about 6 o'clock. Because, well, it's a little different. As principal, if I don't get some stuff done before the teachers show up and the kids show up, I don't get it done. For example, on Friday, I was working on a parent letter that went out. At 6 o'clock, I was done at 3:30. Not because I didn't know what to put in it, but because I started at 6, at 7:30, I had teachers in my office and kids in my office, and I had to pull this meeting or go to lunch duty or that sort of thing. So my biggest tip is be there early. Be there early. Volunteer for things. So let's say I'm gonna make up something. Let's say you work at Scene 75, and your job is running the go-karts. Well, if one day there's 5 of you running the go-karts, and your manager says, hey, I need your help with cleaning the bathrooms, somebody needs to go, right? Be that person. You don't need 5 of you standing around talking. Go clean the bathroom. I'll give you another example. I had a student that was just in the clinic, and he had cut his finger, and there was a drop of blood on the floor. Now, I could have called the janitor to come take care of it, but I'm standing right there. There's the wipes and the gloves. I just put a pair of gloves on and got the wipe and cleaned it up. That's being reliable. Doing what you can for yourself is another part of reliability. What else might you have? Okay. Well, thank you for having me. I will be happy to come back and talk about something else if you'd like. Just talk to your teachers. They usually set that up. We'll probably be having interview days coming up. I think that's part of your class. I think we'll also have like a job fair. That's probably part of your class. It's Wednesday, isn't it? That's why everybody's dressed the way they are. Okay, isn't Wednesday the day you're supposed to dress up? Okay, good deal. All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
You can cut, Trey.
My arms are tired.
Well, if you'd have used that thing, then.
I figured.
You figured out?
It was just a movie.
Thank you guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Guys have a good day.